Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello. Today is Industry Day with Argo. And I say with Argo because I was actually reading something that says that there's been a new ship added to the verse. Which can mean one of a number of different things, let's be honest, when we're talking about Star Citizen. Typically when they say it's been added to the verse, it means it's been added to the live servers. Which will make this just another one of several ships that they have added without any notice at all. Let me in. Which, if you didn't bother watching the end of my spiel yesterday, at the end of the luxury day, which is understandable, it kind of hammers home the fact that these guys are certainly not trying to con anybody. Given that they're just adding ships without even telling anybody that they're coming. They're not on the roadmap, they're not on anything, or at least they're not on the roadmap that I look at. Microtech at night, for anybody who's interested. Ow! A little bit of warning too, I will have to do my stream tomorrow an hour earlier than usual because I've had something unexpected come up. Which means I have to go out in the afternoon and I have to drive like an hour away, so yay me. So I need to start early because Drake has quite a number of ships that I'll need to get through. I'm pretty sure tomorrow's Drake Day anyway. I can take my hat off. I don't need my fancy hat today.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
It's gonna be funny too when this actually starts to be a populated game. Because that whole stand clear, because players can collide, right? So the whole stand clear of disembarking passengers is gonna be a real thing, right? And that's really, really genuinely going to put people's actual, what's the word I'm after? Manners. It's going to put people's manners to the test. Because I'm fairly certain in nearly every single country worldwide, the idea is you let people get off before you try and get on yourself. So it's going to be very interesting to see if that mentality holds true in a game, or if some disrespectful muppet just tries to pile on while everybody's trying to pile off. Because it's worth noting at the moment that these Stanton systems are just 50-player servers at the moment, while they get all the groundwork in place, or the framework in place. So, you know, to say that you're going to see another person, at the moment, it's pretty high to say you're going to see another person because, you know, everybody's going to be floating around the Expo, but to, you know, once everything gets mushed together and it's all one server, or, you know, maybe two servers, I imagine it's going to be one server, but I don't know what hall I'm going to. Zenith. Yeah, once it's all one server, and there's a very good possibility you'll have, you know, 2 dozen people, maybe. A dozen people trying to get on and off the train. Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how manners come around. So, I can confirm that the ship that has had absolutely no warning about coming has just been added to the game. And that is it up there on the left. Yep, the left. I know my left from my right, honest. My right. Alright, well, let's start over here. Actually, I should have had a look at the sign before I walked in here, because I need to know where everything is.
Attention visitors.
So, downstairs.
Expo. Please remember to stay hydrated.
Okay, so we have snub fighters, the Greycat miners, Consolidated Outland over here. Okay, so I'll go downstairs first. I'll do the snub fighters first. I've been doing that for a little while. I'll continue to go downstairs first. So these are the little mining cars, which that one's floating, but that's okay. So we get a little 2-seater one here with some poor bastard on the outside to get hit in the face by flying rocks when the weather gets a bit dodgy. And the other person obviously sits in an enclosed capsule when the door shuts, but anyway. There we go. So this person's shielded from the elements, and the poor bastard outside actually has to sit outside in the elements. I say in the elements because, yes, there are elements in the game. So this poor bastard will probably have to suit up in something nice and heavy. And they actually do the mining for you. It's a bit bigger, it's got a bit more storage capacity. Not much, but a bit. So yeah. As I said, it's a little bit bigger. This is the standard one. Same deal. Can I just open the door? Maybe. Yes, okay. So it's the same deal. Driver sits in there, only this time the driver controls the mining arm. So, now the big difference between this is, I'll read the level plaques before I get into my own spiel. So, by focusing on the essentials of terrestrial-based mining, Greycat Industrial designed their hardworking, no-nonsense Rock DS. Remote ore collector dual seat to let mining pairs do more while in the field. The Rock DS raises the ground mining game by adding extra cargo capacity and a second seat to operate the precision gimbaled mining arm. Greycat even upgraded the driver's cab with a protective enclosure to allow for longer excursions in harsh conditions. With the Rock DS, mining duos now have the right tools to comfortably collect more ore. That's nice for the driver, but unfortunately the poor bastard in the outside seat, which has no protection at all, unfortunately is getting fucking smacked by, you know, microparticles of silicon that are being blown around in some fucking moon-based dust storm. So, by focusing on the essentials of terrestrial-based mining, Greycat Industrial designed their hardworking no-nonsense rock remote ore collector to complement the miners who use it. From its precision gimbaled mining arm to its all-terrain wheels, this solo-operated vehicle shows how important it is to have the right tool for the job. So, yeah. Now I can't even remember what I was going to say. Oh. So, mining in these ships is mining in these buggies is entirely different to mining in a ship. These buggies are designed to mine what hand miners, people on foot mine, so what I can go out and mine with my own little mining pistol. The difference is that you're a little bit safer than with the mining pistol, because if something blows up, at least you've got the buggy between you and the explosion. So, buggies can't independently, I'm sure if you got a big enough group of them, you could give it a crack, but you can't independently mine the big rocks and obviously asteroids, that the mining ships use. So that in turn means that the collection of minerals that you have is entirely separate to what a mining ship gathers. You more mine crystals rather than ore as such. Or at least everything I've picked up while hand mining looks like a crystal, so... So yeah. If you do buy one of these little things, ever, you won't have to worry about a mining ship coming up and taking your little rocks, because the mining lasers, which are mounted on mining ships, actually put out far too much power to crack apart the ore that's on the ground. They will actually just outright blow them up. In their lowest power state, they will actually just blow them up outright. So, the only people you will be competing against in these are obviously people on foot, hand mining, and other buggies, which these are the only two mining buggies in the game, so that's all you need to worry about. This thing I lovingly dubbed the golf cart. I don't actually know what the point of this thing is anymore. I used to know what the point of it was, but I don't anymore. It is what it is. It's just literally a little golf buggy to get from A to B. Costs like $16 US or something. It's ridiculous, so... I don't believe it has any storage, it just carries people. That's it. Just carries two people. It's a golf buggy. Except it doesn't even have a place to put your golf clubs. I suppose you could hockey strap into the back there. So yeah, that's an emphasis I kind of wanted to put on board straight away for you folks that may have questions about mining. I mean, I can imagine it's a bit daunting, especially today when I do show you some of the mining ships. Thinking that someone in a big mining ship can just drive up to where you are when you're in one of these things and just be like, "Wow, take all your rockies." Yeah, it's not going to happen. The PTV is a simple and practical buggy frequently used to reduce long walk distance in large hangars or outposts. That's it. I'll go into the display hall. The Consolidated Outland Pioneer, the heavy construction ship. After their auspicious debut with the Mustang, the Consolidated Outland has gone and changed the game again with the reveal of the Pioneer. The self-contained mobile construction yard is capable of creating planetary modular structures, ushering a new wave of aspiring colonists to customize their new homes on the frontier. So yes, this boy right here, this is what people are going to need to actually build on planets. You can actually buy a little... The future thought is that you'll be able to buy like a region on a planet, for example. And you'll be able to build a little base, assuming somebody in your thing has one of these excessively expensive things. Alternatively, you could just hire somebody who owns one and they can come out and build for you. As with all things, hiring is not out of the question. What do we got here? Space tow truck. This is my favorite vehicle ever. And I say that it's my favorite vehicle ever because the amount of people who do run out of fuel in this game is ridiculous. When it comes to getting the job done, Argo doesn't mess around. From sink, pull, freight, and cargo towing to harrowing search and rescue operations, the SRV handles whatever you can throw at it. The bespoke tractor system utilizes an innovative plate and arm combination, allowing for effortless solo use as well as precision team towing for bigger jobs. Your crew and passengers stay safe too, thanks to durable shields and heavy-duty armor that keep the cockpit and components secure when the situation gets hairy. So yes, this is a space tow truck. So when this is actually released into the world, I imagine that these ships are going to be quite readily required. Because, yeah, people still run out of fuel in this day and age. And now that they have got the beacon system in-game, you can just set yourself up a beacon, somebody with a tow truck comes out and tows you back to a station. And you give them some money for it. Last but not least, we have these little snub fighters. P72 Archimedes, whether for added security exploring a system or the simple joy of flying. The Kruger Intergalactic's P72 Archimedes snub craft was designed to deliver exceptional handling and nimble acceleration in a sleek and stylish package. So if you own a Constellation, this is what comes shoved up the bum. Comes with a couple of little guns. They call it a snub fighter, but they actually sell it based on its speed, so... I imagine that you could potentially maybe use these things as racers. I'm not sure. And I think that one's a special one. Oh no, that's the Merlin. Designed in conjunction with RSI... Oh, okay, this must be the one that you have. I thought it was the Archimedes. Or maybe you do get the Archimedes in one of them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Short-range snub fighter represents the first ship produced under the Kruger Intergalactic brand. Utilizing centuries of manufacturing expertise, the compact precision of the Kruger hull blends perfectly with the trusted RSI thrusters to grant the Merlin exceptional handling and maneuverability while ensuring that it's capable of fulfilling a variety of roles from combat to scouting and scanning. So maybe this one's the one that comes shoved up the bum of the Connies. I'm not sure. I've never looked. I just know one comes shoved up the bum of the Connies. So they are nice, sleek little ships. Can I get in one? There is a ladder. Where's the ladder? As usual, let's see if we can't get power. Of course not. Why would we want power? So this thing in front of me is just one big screen. But yeah. I'm still yet to actually work out why the Constellation would ever need a secondary ship, especially ones like the Constellation Andromeda. Because, you know, the Constellation Andromeda is not exactly short of weapons, but whatever. So, one of those, not sure which ones. I could swear it was the white one, but I could be wrong. Comes with the Constellation. Or nearly all the Constellations, actually. The Taurus is the only one that doesn't have them. And that's because the Taurus has more cargo space. So let's start right here. The MPUV cargo, light freight. The Argo Astronautics MPUV cargo is a dedicated merchant transfer ship and ubiquitous intergalactic... That is a fucking new word for me. Stevedore. Vast numbers of MPUV cargoes are responsible for loading and unloading the goods onto cargo ships that can't otherwise land on planets or dry docks, such as the Hull D and the Orion. So the Hull D is one of the massive cargo ships. The first of the capital cargo ships, the second being the Hull E. And the Orion is a capital class mining ship. Some hauler captains choose to own and operate their own Argo, while others prefer to contract with the local Argo owners found at many of the busier ports. So this, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the little ship that could. If you use the referral code, which can be found in the description, this is what you will take home with you. This is the ship. Yes, I want to reinforce it. This is the ship that won this year's Ship of the Year. This little tiny thing. I just want you to really let that sink in. Of all the ships we've seen thus far, this. This little boy right here. That's a lot of screens for a cargo ship. I wonder why.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Now, the one thing that sort of kind of concerns me, it took the whole community to get behind this small boy. The one thing that concerns me sort of is that this ship doesn't actually have a volatile cargo notifier, which it probably should. Oops. I don't want to rent that because I'll be buying one. Not today though. I'll be buying one on the last day when the ship gets its crown. So, oh, I never knew this had a little jump seat in the back. Comes with a little jump seat and the rest is fairly straightforward. Cargo containers go in the back. That's it. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that is all there is to this ship. I have nothing else to sort of sell you on. That's it. That's all this ship is. Thank you. Moving on to its sister ship, however, which you'll notice has a little bit more chungus to it. The sister ship is the MPUV personnel. The Argo Astronautics MPUV-1P, commonly referred to as the Argo personnel, this version of the Argo is geared towards a simple but incredibly important responsibility: moving grounds of people from place to place. The IAE Navy uses MPUV-1Ps extensively, and any new recruit can likely recall those terrifying moments in which such a ship carried them to their first space assignment. In civilian hands, the Argo personnel ships are adapted for everything from standard taxi services, which is true because, as you remember, this ship over here actually states that there are ships that cannot enter orbit. The capital ships, sorry, most capital ships cannot enter orbit. So how do captains get up there? Well, they can take a ship up there, but I mean, what are they going to do with the ship then? Well, the simple fact of the matter is you get yourself a taxi. Argo personnel ships are adapted for everything from standard taxi services to use as makeshift combat dropships. The MPUV-1P is capable of carrying up to 8 humans and their equipment. So, the cockpit, understandably the same. I call it a cockpit, it's more of a cabin, but anyway, we won't ask too many questions. But, as I said, you'll notice that the guts of it are a bit more chonky. No side doors. I don't actually know what that is. Anyway. A womp. Ah, I'm in the roof. Don't forget to crouch, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, this is it. This is how you get up to your capital ship from planet side. You inevitably rent a space taxi. So that's kind of why it's really important to sort of emphasize how much back and forward there is to this game. It's real easy for people to say, well, you know, all you need is a capital ship, but what happens if you need to go surface side? You can't take that bastard down with you. Yeah, you can dock them at a spaceport. I mean, well, what are you going to do when you're at the spaceport? I mean, realistically, most people have their own ships to get to and from, but let's just say you don't. Let's just say you're that one bloke that one bloke during this event that buys a Javelin for $3,000 and thinks to themselves, that's all I'm ever going to need, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you'll be stuck in space for the rest of your days unless you've got somebody in something simple like this to take you down to the surface. I'm going to save the new ship for last. So first, we have Argo's mining entry, which is called the Mole. And I'm going to have a hell of a time trying to read this thanks to that beautiful light in the middle. Argo's iconic multi-operator laser extractor, more commonly referred to as the Mole, lets you work faster and more efficiently than ever before thanks to its patented trilateral mining system. 3 independently controlled articulated extraction stations allow for maximum power and near limitless versatility unless someone is a muppet and can't watch the fucking bar, in which case it stuffs everyone up. The Mole lives by the adage, many hands make for light work, unless one of those hands is a muppet. So, the Mole suffers, unfortunately, from that self-same fucking loud random music again. The Mole unfortunately suffers from that same issue as the Rock DS, so the dual seat one, wherein this front laser cannon, or laser extractor, it is an enclosed capsule. We can see that. We can all see that. It does actually separate from the body of the ship, but that's an irrelevant matter. It's enclosed. We can all see that. These, however, are not enclosed, or at least they weren't enclosed when I used to see them. It does actually look like they may be enclosed now. I'm trying to find a reflection, because I could have sworn I saw a glass reflection. To the best of my knowledge, however, these cabins on the side, as you can see, mining lasers, there's another one on the other engine. And yes, it is an engine. This right here is a thruster. These are open canopy. You do not have a canopy in those. They are exposed to the outside elements. Whether anybody intends to put a glass window in that frame, I don't know. But I can assure you that as of the last time I used this ship, there was no glass here. This cabin was completely exposed to the outside elements. I mean, I say completely exposed. You can very clearly see that it is shielded, sort of. But, it is still exposed. You still need to wear a helmet. Those are just cargo bags. They're not actually supposed to be out like that. Those cargo bags are actually supposed to be sort of folded up like they are at the top. Well, that's not even the bag, that's just the clip. But the bags are they're supposed to be literal bags. They're supposed to expand as they fill up with stuff. I don't know why the Mole does it. I actually think that those bags contract when, like, I think the Mole does it backwards. The rear of the ship. Now, this ship does have a VTOL system. Those side thrusters are VTOL thrusters. The ship actually, this turns into like an X frame once you turn the VTOL off. It's really cool. But that's the back of the ship. So unfortunately though, the big issue is that this, despite this massive, massive ship, right? This is your ore hold. These 8 bags, are they 8 bags? They are 8 bags. These 8 bags, that's all you get. So look at everything else you see, means fuck all. These are your 8 ore bags. Yeah, they will be detachable in the future. You can jettison all your ore at the moment if you are mining Quantanium and you get a little bit worried. So the back here is all very straightforward. These are all component storage. You can't open any of these yet. I believe this... yeah. So this is actually an airlock that's not an airlock. That is a suit holder because, as I said, these are... shouldn't be open, but that's alright. These are open. See? Whee! Just to really hammer home my point. And given that there is actually a suit holder there, I am absolutely... please open. This is supposed to be an airlock door, right? These doors are supposed to be airlock doors. They're not supposed to open on their own. One's supposed to shut, one's supposed to open, alright? Door cycle. So this is a suit door. Given that this exists, I'm going to assume that nobody has any intention in the world of closing this up. Actually, looking at it further, I didn't actually realize that it was completely open, so we won't be closing this up at all. So yeah, this is as it is. We go new. The side opens up a little bit. Can I look at that? So yeah. So the side sort of opens up, and the whole mining cannon, the whole mining arm, as you can see, detaches from the ship and comes down. Actually surprised I didn't do something dodgy to the ship, because the arm is not supposed to be this low into the ground. But, yeah. And now, as you can see, we are fully exposed left and right. So, food for thought when atmospheric stuff actually does start playing a serious part in the game. Currently, while you're in a ship, these are, unless something's changed, because it has been a fair while since I've used this ship. Currently, while you're sitting in here, you're not affected by atmospheric anything. But in future, like, let's just say I walked outside. If I walk outside here on Microtech, it's fucking cold. Unless I'm wearing like a full, proper cold suit, I will slowly start to freeze. I'll get 5 minutes. I think it's actually just under 6 minutes I can survive. That is like relatively decent cold weather gear. Now imagine there's a snowstorm out there. That's going to be even worse. So these are all things, I don't think they take effect at the moment while you're sitting in this turret. I think at the moment the turret is still shielded, quotey fingers, from atmospheric events, but eventually the poor bastards in the turret left and right here, they're going to need whatever's in here to survive. Now, the lift only comes up to here. To go upstairs, you've got to be an able-bodied person, which is, I find a bit weird, but anyway. And voila. We have the upstairs. Bunks. Our typical shower Actually, that's maybe not even a shower. Maybe we only get the pooper. More suits. More suit rackers. Suit rackers. Excellent. Suit lockers. This majestic orange and chrome finish, which is fucking blinding and horrible. So, very, very, very basic kitchen. Table to eat your stuff at. More components, which can't access at present. I believe these are all your ore stuff. Yeah. These are all your ore components. I say components, but you can't actually interact with any of this stuff, and I don't believe you'll ever be able to interact with any of it. It's just kind of here to say, hey, this is the ship working. So we'll go down here. Be very careful of this ladder if you do fucking buy this ship, because I've fallen down this ladder several times, and I will tell you that it is just far enough now that you will break your fucking ankle. So this is the only actual fully sealed off turret. So if we sit in here, I don't actually think you see that door shut. Oh, there we go. So it's dual locked, so you can see it closes off the body of the ship as well. It lowers, which I kind of worry is going to do something to the ship, but anyway. So there we go. It sort of just sticks out like that. Has a gun on the front. Oh, gun, turret, mining laser, whatever you want to call it. So, in the most extreme of the extreme, this right here is probably the only thing you're going to be using. I would want to hope it changes the interior paint. And last but not least, we have our cockpit. So, more shiny. More shiny, less orange. So we have pilot and a co-pilot. Pilot, co-pilot. Now, the absolute most important part of this ship, and I'll show you while I'm in here in case you buy it and you want to start mining. Now, as always, I cannot power the ship on.
Systems activating.
But the most important part of this ship is this. Volatile cargo. If you are mining Quantanium, this is your lifeline. I can't remember the exact thing. It starts off, I think it starts off flashing yellow, then it flashes red, and then it goes solid red. If it goes solid red, you fucking press the button that ejects the cargo, because it's gonna blow up. It's been forever since I mined Quantanium, so I long since forgotten exactly how that button highlights. The co-pilot doesn't get one, so good luck to you. I believe it's 20 to 30 minutes. No, it's not even 30. It's 20 to 28 minutes you've got from taking Quantanium onto your ship to getting it off the ship. You have a minimum of 20 minutes and you have a maximum of 28, I believe. So, there's food for your thought. And that could have changed. To the best of my knowledge, you never had any more than 28 minutes. Like, if you make it to 27 minutes and you haven't blown up yet, you're doing pretty good. But that's the mole. It's very, very simple. It never used to have a downstairs section. So just as a quick, I don't know, history lesson, the mole used to only be a two-man vessel. The pilot and co-pilot used to only have two mining lasers, both of which were mounted, you know, under the cockpit. which will probably make a lot more sense come not tomorrow, the day after, when we have a look at MISC. Because MISC has a one-man mining craft. But you used to just have this level, that was it. Everything was on this level. And then somewhere through its development, don't ask me when, because I really don't know, they decided to turn it into a three-man mining craft and added these two little wing sections and this bottom level to allow for the two wing sections. Good for thought as to how ships change during development. Personally, I would have preferred it to stay as a two-man mining craft because, as I said, the two lasers were controlled from the cockpit, which is enclosed. Unlike now, where you've got one enclosed and two very open.
If you're looking to crack into the cargo hauling market, look no further than Argos New Raft. This small multi-cruise ship utilizes Argo's experience in the industrial ship market and a versatile design to create an affordable entry-level ship that's ready for the long haul.
The Argo Raft features a hefty chonk, hefty 96 SCU cargo hold, and is capable of carrying up to 3 standardized 32 SCU cargo containers. So those 32 SCU cargo containers are basically what you will always see bolted onto the side of the Hull series, the Orion ships, all that sort of stuff. Perfect for entry-level haulers and old pros alike, the Raft is an ideal solution for reliable local freight transport. This is a brand new ship. I knew this ship was coming. I knew the ship was in design. That is it. That's where my knowledge of the ship ends. I knew it was an Argo ship. I only heard about it a week ago. And voila, this is my first seeing the ship, and a week ago I heard about it. It showed up on no roadmaps. It showed up that I know of. I assume the devs talked about it. And here we are. Obviously that's an airlock entry for joining up to other ships. There's an elevator over here. There we go. I want to have a look around though. Let's have a look around the ship. So those to me look like VTOL engines. I could be wrong. Those engines that aren't even connected to the ship. None of them are connected to the ship. Very good, very good. So here are some nice big chunky cargo containers that you can see at the back here. Held on by fucking claws. Window. So this is great actually, because I believe this is the first time we've ever actually got to see cargo containers as like proper cargo containers in this game. Or, I suppose as we would call them, shipping containers. What else have we got down the bottom here? Have a nice good long look at this. What do we got? Vent access. Hull may be prone to vibration. They all vibrate when they're going into atmo. Machinery may move suddenly. Imagine so, especially when they're not connected.
Ready to learn more about the manufacturers and ships on display? The all-new 2950
I actually have a suspicion, and this is a very serious suspicion, that for whatever reason, the only reason that's detached is that they're not supposed to be aiming backwards. That is my absolute suspicion. They probably should be aiming down right now, because to me they look like they're supposed to be VTOL thrusters. So I would imagine that when the ship takes off and it leaves VTOL mode, or maybe even leaves, it may not even have a VTOL mode, it may just straight be gear up, gear down. When the gear comes up, it folds backwards, or folds in. I mean, I imagine it folds. It's hard to say with this ship. I mean, that stuff obviously rotates. It just, I suppose it depends on which way. I mean, do all the legs fold in towards the center, or do they fold backwards? I mean, they look like they can fold in towards the center and still have space. And what would happen is, obviously, as the legs rotate, the engines would as well. But without owning the ship, I couldn't tell you. And I have enough cargo ships, so I'm not buying this. So let's get inside this thing and have a look. We've had a very good look at the side, and in Argo, true Argo style, this ship is as bare bones as it needs to be. Argo is just literally, this is what is required for the job, we need nothing else. I didn't get onto the lift. Let me on. Maybe I can't get in the shit. Maybe I will have to rent one. Ah, I'm on. I just had to bunny hop it a bit. Alright, so I'm exploring the middle deck, which is going to be interesting, but let's see if I can actually get off. More importantly, let's see if I can get back on. So this must be the cockpit. Pilot seat, co-pilot seat. Zoom. I unfortunately can't turn all these monitors on.
Activating. Systems on.
What do we got? Coupled flight. Cruise control. Wow. ESP. G-safe limiter. In a cargo ship? Really? So nearly all the buttons work, sorry. Which is, again, one of those future-proofing things I mentioned in the 400i yesterday. Spool quantum drive. God, even these ones work. Oh, hang on. What was that? Well, we have a VTOL button, so it must have a VTOL mode. So yes, those engines rotate. What else have we got here? Oh. Exposed wires. More... flashy lights. So we have different light modes again. Door lock, door close. What else have we got? What's this way? Oh, airlock. Airlock that doesn't work, maybe? Don't tell me this airlock actually works. Doesn't look like it. I was going to say, don't tell me we have an airlock that actually has to have a door shut to open a door. Kitchen. Tomato sauce and mustard. Very important. What are these? I don't know what those are. They look like straws. Plastic straws? Because, you know, we're all still using plastic straws, aren't we? I haven't seen a plastic straw in a long time, actually, now that I think about that. Everywhere here uses paper straws. Cardboard straw? I don't even know. Kind of somewhere between paper and cardboard. Actually, I like the interior of this a lot more than I like the interior of the mole. It doesn't have that very bright, fuck your eyeballs when you first wake up look. 2 bunks. I don't know what's out there. Oh, that's just the window out to the cargo. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Literal inventory. Except it doesn't look like it works too well. That could be because this is just a rental ship and not my ship. Maybe because it's the rental ship, it won't let me actually interact with my inventory. But that is actual literal inventory space right there. These all look like suit lockers. Yeah, they're the Argo suit lockers. I don't know why we've got 4 suit lockers, but that's okay. What do we got here? This looks like a shower. That is a weapons rack. Okay, so this is the first ship I know of that has the proper inventory system implemented to it. So you'll notice in a previous video, if you watch through them all, that I mentioned that in future we won't just have, oh, you're on this planet, here's all your stuff. Right? In future, you will have a, this is where you live, this is your stuff. At the moment, it's much simplified, as I said. My home is New Babbage, full stop. If I'm on this planet, no matter where it is, if I'm on the other side of the planet, if I'm sitting up in orbit, maybe, I'm not sure, I've never tried that one, but to emphasize a point, this is New Babbage, this is my inventory. Eventually, that's going to pull itself back in even further. So, yes, my home may be New Babbage, but I live in an apartment on New Babbage, where I started at the beginning of the stream. So, for me to change clothes, I would need to be in that apartment on New Babbage. And you get the point. So, this ship is the first ship that I know of that actually has a proper inventory system on the lockers where you go, this is my locker, this is all my shit. Or whatever you can put in the locker. Does it actually have a limit? I can't see. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But anyway, my shit lives in this locker, so you can live on this ship, in theory. Whereas your spacesuits, so if can I actually look at any of this? Undersuits. So here we go. I might say put one of these Pembroke armors in there. Like we may be servicing a planet that has a fucking shitty atmosphere, so we would be using, I would have that armor to wear, you know, to pop on. I would have it stored in here, I'd pop it on, voila. I'd walk out and that's that. It's kind of hard to sort of explain in dot points, which is what I'm trying to do to keep it short. Anyway, this is the upstairs. What have we got here? This looks like a tractor beam or maybe the claws. This may be the claws. I don't think I'm going to be able to use jack shit because, you know, the ship's just sitting still, but can I have power? Exit. Oh, there's power. Yeah, right.
Systems activating. Systems on.
I would say this is the claws. Because, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself when you look at where it looks. That was the ladder. Those are components. Those are more components. This is the seedy, dirty engineering deck. Oh, that's the lift. Is this anything? Component access, so this is more component access. That's probably an engineering station, I would say, but because there's obviously supposed to be 4 people on this ship, I would say that pilot, co-pilot, the claw operator dude, and an engineer sounds logical to me. You know, I thought that was the button for the ladder, for the elevator. I just pushed it and the fucking avionics screen opened up. So that's this ship. You're not going to let me on, are you? There we go. Go back down to the lower deck just to have another look around. I would like to get this airlock door open. That panel doesn't even work, full stop. Okay, no, that panel doesn't work. So yeah, this... That's this ship. It's, yeah, very bare bones like you'd expect from an Argo ship, because Argo is very, very straightforward. Argo is kind of a design that's, you know, this is what the ship absolutely requires to do its job. We need nothing else. I'm a little surprised there's only 2 bunks, but I mean, I suppose obviously people can work in shifts on this ship, can't they? I expected 4. And 4 lockers, but anyway, doesn't matter. It's nice. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything less, but you know what I was expecting that this ship has shocked me with? This internal hull area. I was expecting everything to be that horrible chrome that the mole has. That horrible orange and chrome. Now I gotta try and get out of this thing with the airlock that doesn't work, so I don't have a second way out.
Many of the vehicles on display at this year's IAE are available to rent from one of our local providers.
I can get out, but I can't get in. Go figure. So that's the newest cargo ship to the game. It's very big for a 96 SCU ship, but I think the important thing to note is that it can carry these shipping containers, whereas most of the similar ships can't. So that's certainly worthwhile noting. I think the Freelancer Max carries more than this, but it can't carry these cargo containers or shipping containers. It can only carry the small standard shipping container.
Keep our halls looking their best. Every guest. Please be sure to keep track of all your belongings.
Like the ones that are probably, I don't know, a half or a third of the size. So that's worth noting that this is the only ship in the game that I know of, small ship in the game, that can carry these this size cargo container. With that wonderful flickering texture.
Ready to learn more about the manufacturers and ships on display? The all-new 29
So suffice it to say, I'm fairly impressed with that little addition, which was...
way to get more info on why adventurous pilots across
I never
the
saw a
board.
gunner's seat, which is interesting. Then again, I didn't look up. Most of the gunner seats are hidden in the roof, aren't they? So yeah, that's the newest addition to the game with no prior warning that it was coming.
Attention visitors, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo.
Alrighty, let's move along to the last of Consolidated Outland's efforts. For all you rednecks out there, we have a special little thing here today, given that it's Consolidated Outland. I'll start with that, because why the hell not? For all you rednecks, here is the space pickup. Couple of small missile boys. Yes, this ship does float. I don't know why a Consolidated Outland ship floats. I can't answer that question. How do I put the ramp up? I've only ever looked at this thing once. I don't know how any of it works. Cargo. Something or other. Can I do it from backwards? No. I thought there was a thingy. A button. A bouton. Oh, down here. I thought it was just one of those little square buttons. And I suppose you could say that's a little square button, really, isn't it? So, anyway. This is the space pickup. This is your cargo area. I suppose you could call it. They call it a cargo bay. I think that's a bit rich. So the ship, as I said, it does float for whatever reason. That's fucking weird for a Consolidated Outland ship. But anyway. This ship is very futuristic for Consolidated Outland. This is like the weirdest ship in the game to me. I'm really not afraid to ever say that. So, straightforward component access. Hooper, can I lift the seat on that? No. Cargo bay, which can oddly be controlled from here, apparently. Which is weird. I want to emphasize how weird that is, because you really can't actually fucking see it. Shower. At least I think it's supposed to be a shower. Oh no, that's a wardrobe. I saw this dirty looking thing on the roof and thought it was a shower. Super Pro. Pre-workout. Have you ever wanted to put on muscle? Flex them muscles. Very, very basic kitchen. More importantly, we have the super-sized protein powder. There's a bed there. Complimentary plant. Yeah, I was just saying, is there steroids here or what? So we can get out and have some roid rage when somebody cuts us off in traffic. And the cockpit. I don't much like the cockpit of this ship either.
Your journey begins now. All systems
But I mean,
operational.
on the plus side, you can at least see below you, which is a benefit. And as usual, on all the newer ships, I mean, I say newer, this was last year's ship entry, but you get the point. We have the HUD, which I can only assume is going to be used for VR in the future. Because everything is here. So all these are basically hot buttons, cargo bay. Actually, I don't actually know if there's a cargo bay hotkey exactly. There's like an open all doors, but I don't actually know if there's a cargo bay button. There may have been one added. That's the open exterior. So that is the hotkey. I know that one exists. Tractor beam. Comms, weapons. Weapons fire modes. I'm not sure what those are. Power, sensors, engine. I don't actually know what HUD and navigation are. Maybe they're... I mean, obviously this is HUD, but I don't know what these are. The only thing I can actually imagine that these would perhaps be, because they look like dials, is I can only imagine that perhaps there will be a feature in the future to actually brighten or dim all these HUD elements. That's the only thing I can think of, just because they look like dials. Shields. I don't know what alarm is. I definitely don't know why this would want a hover mode, given that it's got no landing gear. Quantum. Not sure what that is. Again, landing gear. This ship doesn't have landing gear. So I don't know why it would have a landing gear thing. All it has is those little sort of arm things that the anti-grav, the hover mode is on. So I mean, I suppose you could dump something like that. Who knows? And those are all flight modes coupled. Cruise, G-Safe. Turkey Day. Have a good Turkey Day. Well, I'm nearly done. All I've got to do is the Consolidated outland the Mustangs, and that's it. What is that? That's a little plant. This is the last haul today. Short stream. Let me out. So yeah, that's this ship. As I said, it's got no landing gear. It's just got these anti-grav things. So I don't know why it would have anything to do with gear. I mean, unless you can put them... Maybe they come up. Maybe they just class that outright as gear. Because actually it's got hydraulics and shit there. So perhaps they do come up and sort of fit in with the ship. It's consolidated and using fucking anti-grav. I don't know what's going on there. Alright, the Mustangs. Now, the Mustangs are what's considered another starter ship. They come in, obviously, several flavors, much like most of the starter ships. Is this the okay, well, let's read the Nomad's thing before I move on. With the versatility of a medium-sized, multi-purpose freighter packed into a stylish, compact frame, the Consolidated Outland Nomad is the model of self-sufficiency, the spirit of the open sky, and the perfect solution for anyone yearning to start a brand new adventure. I think, and I want to say this loosely, I actually think the Nomad does pass as a starter ship these days. So that's food for thought. It's on the more expensive end of the starter ships, but I think it does pass as a starter ship. Alright, let's have a look at these Mustangs. Starting off with the Mustang Gamma, which is the racing one. Consolidated Outland's design and engineering teams have managed to tweak and refine the Mustang into an admirable racer. The end result, the Mustang Gamma has smooth acceleration and power on demand thanks to an innovative package featuring 3 powerful magma jet engines for maximum thrusting. So we got a nice blue and silver finish, minimum weapons you'll find on this thing. The typical branding that you'll see on most race ships. I imagine in the future you'll be able to change them. You know, you'll be able to, maybe if a player-run corporation fucking backs you, you may be able to put their logo on the side of your ship.
Welcome. Your journey begins now.
So, this is it. We've just got a single display at the front. I have absolutely no idea what actually displays on this engine. I imagine it's just... on this screen, sorry. It could be split down the center. I wouldn't really know. It could be split into thirds. Yeah, I really don't know. I've never piloted one of these, so I don't... I have one, but I don't actually know anything about it because I've never got in it. But it is a racing ship, so I imagine that what is going to show up on your monitor is basically going to be mostly power settings, so where you can put your power, engines, shields, the 2 little guns that are on the wings. I give myself a nice outside, so obviously the wings fold down. I mean, I suppose that should go without saying. So we've got more stuff sort of stuck on there. Klaus and Werner. There's another shipping logo. That says Gamma on the fin, so this is a Mustang Gamma, so can't complain much about that. There's another logo there. So I imagine all those logos will be changeable. You'll probably just be able to take them off outright and just stick whatever you want on wherever on the ship you like, I imagine, as long as it's a logo. Or worst case scenario, they'll just have, you know, these particular mounted spots where you can put logos, so, you know, like 1 medium, 1 small, 1 big. And is there one on the side there? What's that one? Something Transit. Meridian Transit, I think. So yeah, it's just sort of, there's another one there. Just kind of shows you just how much they plan on putting onto, like, the races for when racing comes back. A lot of little references that anybody who's worked in an aviation environment can sort of appreciate. We'll move on to this one next. As you can see the difference between firepower already. Instead of two little guns, we have a single larger dual mount. So this is the Pathfinder. The Mustang Beta, with its unprecedented range, is made for long-duration flights. Factory standard Taurus Leaper jump engines enables the Beta to travel the galaxy's farthest systems with ease. While the ship's unique Comfort living quarters will make the journey feel like you never left home. Now, I've heard that a lot of people have had a little bit of issues with this. I don't know whether they've all been fixed or not, but we're about to find out. Again, the wings fold down. I believe the wings are actually locked in with the landing gear, so... when the gear goes up, the wings fold down. I don't think any of this back stuff comes out. I believe this is actually all where components sit. So you'll notice immediately that we don't have logos all over this one. We still have a fairly minimal weapon suite. I don't even think this has missiles, although that looks like a missile rack. So it may have missile mounts, it just may not come with them. So we'll hop in. As with every sort of ship that has a multitude, the general guts are the same. Let's see if I can actually exit to rear. There we go. So, understandably, that one has the guts ripped out for a third engine, whereas this one has, if I can get in there, there we go, a very simple living quarters. Shitter, shower, that shower head's very close to the door. Don't know what that is. What's that? Can't see. Anyway, bed, shower, shitter. Very simple kitchen. Very simple stovetop. So, this is a Pathfinder, so you're supposed to be out there alone. And, I mean, that kind of emphasizes the point of it. So, you're allowed to be relatively independent. Now, can I get out of this ship without getting back in the pilot's seat? Doesn't look like it, does it? Let me out. Exit ship. So that's the Pathfinder. Again, has living space. It should be noted that you can't pick boxes up and carry them up ladders. So even though it does have internal space to put boxes, you can't actually put a box in there. Unlike with the Nomad, that obviously has a whole back end. Which one have we got here? What flavour? I think this one looks like the stock one. Mustang Alpha, light freight. Inspired by Consolidated Outland CEO Silas Comer's cutting-edge vision, the Mustang Alpha is a sleek, stylish spacecraft that uses ultralight alloys to push power ratios to the limits, albeit sometimes unsafely. And now, with optional cargo carrier, you can have the Alpha's advantages without sacrificing the carrying capacity. So someone's graciously opened the arse of this for us. So those are just standard cargo pods. So you can actually see where they split. And that understandably just tucks up into the ship. Once again, because this is a cargo ship, light on the weapons. It does have the missile mounts, or weapon mounts, but I wouldn't be able to tell you without actually looking into the ship whether you can still equip weapons onto those hard points, or whether you're just stuck with this gimbaled nose mount. The pointy end of the ship is exactly the same, as you can see. Did look like I could get out the back of the ship, though. Maybe? I can't see. Let me see. Anyway, let's have a look around the outside. Once again, wings are mounted to the gear. Gear goes up, wings come down. Actually, it does look like there's something in the back there. I don't know what it is. Looks like another seat, really, doesn't it? I wonder if there is another seat there. I don't know what that is. That is not a seat. It could just be... I don't know what that is, but I couldn't get out of the seat. Well, not that I noticed. Let's have a play. Let's see if I can get out of the back here. Doesn't look like I can. It's the power on button. Yeah, it doesn't...
Your journey begins now.
Doesn't look like I can get into the back of the ship. Maybe it's just there to fill space. Now, as I mentioned, those hard points on the wings. This is the combat ship. You got a little missile pod there. Rocket pod. Laser. The pointy end is the same. Just more shit clipped onto the wings. The Delta, the light fighter. While it may not be able to go toe-to-toe with some military-specific ships, by reinforcing the Mustang's already strong hull, constructed with Consolidated Outland's own line of cavalry-class mass reduction armor, the Delta has a reduced cross-sectional signature that evens the playing field. So, I'll just come up the bum of this. The bum looks the same as with most of them. Just this white panel, which I assume is probably just full of components. I assume that this sort of fabric-looking texture on it is probably what they were talking about what lowers the signature. Pointy end is the same as with all the Mustangs, and let's just have a quick goosey around this one. It's a military ship, so of course it's got to be green. It does have that same back thing with the Consolidated Outland logo on it, but I don't actually know what exactly it is. To this day, I have no idea what the heck it is. Gear comes up, wings go down, vice versa. But that's it. That's your entry level, or one of your starter combat ships. Although I would personally never use this thing for combat, but that's my opinion. Because apparently one of the other starter ships is, like, if you want to invest in all the components and stuff, one of the other ships has far more, which is kind of funny because it's the initially crapper of the lot. They actually say the Aurora can be done up to do a lot more than this thing, so... Sorry, the Combat Aurora can be done to do more than this. But yeah, those are the Mustangs from Consolidated Outland. And obviously the Nomad. I don't know where that NPC's going. Going on a holiday. So that rounds up today's show. But, that said, before I say goodbye, I head back into the main hall. So I need to grab a drink because I'm thirsty, or I'm getting thirsty. Where's the coffee shop? Is there a coffee shop back here? There is not a coffee shop back here. Needs to be more coffee shops in this hall. Typical weapons display. By now we've seen all of these because, as I say, they just showcase the weapons that tend to come stock with all these ships.
This is a friendly reminder that the Tobin Expo Center is a shared space. Please be mindful.
Let's grab ourselves a drink.
Hi, welcome. All enjoy this day together.
I don't know where my drink went, but that's okay. I'll work that out later. Probably went in my inventory. Anyway, if you guys use the referral code in the description and you do decide that you wish to play Star Citizen, if you make a purchase, I believe it's over $45, which if you're buying the game it will be, because the starter packs I think are $50 for the cheapest one, which include the game. And if you want to get the game with Squadron 42, which it will be the single player release, I think they're like 70 or 80 bucks. 75, I think. It depends on which ship you get with them. I think for the Aurora, the base Aurora, it's $75. Anyway, if you use my referral code when making an account and making a purchase, you will receive this small boy. This is the small boy that comes with everything. This is the ship that won Ship of the Year. I know, that's fucking crazy, but whatever. So this is the little ship that could. So you can help unload those hulls. And get paid for it, because no doubt the hull pilots will pay you for it. Because they don't want to be sitting there all year waiting for their ship to unload by NPCs. But that's it for Argo and Consolidated, and Kruger, and Greycat. And yeah, I got nothing else to add on that. That's new, that's brand new, so if you haven't seen or heard of that thing, don't be shocked, because I only heard about it a week ago. For those of you who have been considering a Drake Caterpillar, which of course we will be considering, we will be seeing tomorrow, I have been told, and I don't know how true it is, but I've been told that due to the release of this thing, the Caterpillar may be going up in price. So bear that one in mind. But outside of that, that's all I have to show you folks today. As I said, referral code is in the description, and by spending $50 or more on a pledge, I think it's 45 or more, you will also receive, and I will also receive for your generosity of using the code, the small boy, the MPUV cargo. So, you'll also get $5,000 of in-game currency. And I think the bottom row starts you off with 1,000, I think. Depends on which ship you get. If you buy a bigger ship, you get more starting money, so. The basic entry levels are 1,000, I believe. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. I won't crap on any longer. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. And I will see you tomorrow for Drake Day.